Okay, very good evening.
Okay. Press already have.
Yeah, press it. Okay. A very good evening to everyone. Okay, can start.
Sorry.
Okay, a very good evening to everyone. So thank you for attending this course preview to 16 events, and thank you for signing up and showing your interest to actually learn more about some of the critical thinking and brainstorming techniques that you can actually utilize in your own life as well in your own organization. So 16 hats. Today I'm going to actually help you to maximize your thinking potential and move out of your analytical thinking style. I'm Edwin and I'll be facilitating this workshop for you today. Okay. So when we talk about brainstorming and critical thinking, okay, does anyone have any experience in this in your own workplace or during your school days? Does anyone have any experience in this? Maybe you can share. Brainstorming, are you involved in any like brainstorming or critical thinking session?
I have every time to brainstorm before going for lunch, go out for lunch.
So how is the experience like?
You always want the practical brainstorming.
Okay. So how about Salman, do you have any idea, like have you participated in any like brainstorming session or critical thinking session or discussion with your?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was a long time ago, like in poly.
In poly, okay.
Yeah,
so how is the experience like?
It requires you to think out of the box.
Okay. So normally when you are in a group, do you actually find like some people start talking with things? And you see some people also like getting more power, saying like, oh, we should do this, we should do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And you also sometimes we see like when we discuss or brainstorm or have critical thinking in a group with our superiors, some of us actually tend to be more conservative in our own opinions. So today, so normally what will happen is that this will happen, whereby different people will have actually different opinions, trying to say different things. So today what I want to achieve is that to actually give you this technique, 6 thinking test technique, to actually achieve this goal, whereby everyone is happy and thinking towards the same direction, okay, and the same goal. And today I'm going to change the way you think by giving you this snapshot of how this technique can work to improve your own life, your own thinking process, as well as helping you to have a good technique to manage a discussion in your own organization. So the learning outcomes for this workshop is firstly to evaluate the theories, to find out what are the different benefits and pitfalls that you need to identify and look out for in the 6 thinking hats technique. And next is also to compare and contrast the 6 different hats, which what we'll be doing today. Okay. And last but not least is to actually apply the tool effectively. Okay. And see how we can actually use this technique in your own workplace scenario. Okay. And this will be touched on in the actual course itself. So as you can see from the slide, okay, so as you can see from here, I give you a set of different numbers and I want you to add them together. It's quite hard, right? Or if let's say I put it in a very systematical way, it's easier now in a way, right? So similarly, using the 6 thinking hats technique is to actually help you to regroup the different help you to regroup the thought process in a more systematical way, to help you to think in a more coordinated way in a group. So my good friend Dr. Einstein once said that we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. So more than often than not, for example, we have like a business continuity management process, and we want to do risk assessment, right? So we don't normally just get people from the workplace safety, but we do involve different department people to join in to actually contribute. So this is what the gist of it, to actually get different people, get different perspective to solve the problem. And he also said that let's say he had 1 hour to solve a problem, he would actually spend the first 55 minutes to ask the correct questions in order to solve the problem. So in a way, using this 6 thinking hats technique is also to actually give you the technique to ask the right question before we come down to a conclusion or we come down to new solutions in solving the problem. So the creator of this technique is Edward Omo. Okay, so he realized that all of us can actually rearrange our thoughts in our brain to think more effectively and safely. And with this technique, we really can actually think in different perspectives and manage a group discussion in a more coordinated way, be it in your discussion in your workplace or even having a discussion with your wife or family. So we are now moving to exploring compare and contrast, which is the second learning outcome of the different 6 different thinking hats. So you can see from your table, right, there's a handout. You guys can actually take one handout each. Okay, so the handout that you have in front of you is actually following the entire slide. So as I go through the slide, maybe you can actually write down the key points and it will actually help you in your own learning. And when you go back to your workplace, you can actually use this handout, as a reference and apply this technique in your own workplace. Okay, so first we'll move into the first hat, which is the white hat. So when we wear the white hat, or we wear the white hat, we think and we look at data and facts. So the keyword is data and facts, and we find out what are the gaps in the information. So when you see the white hat, you focus on the data, you focus on the facts. And some of the questions that we actually ask is that what information is available when we look at this scenario, or this situation, or this problem. We look at what are the facts available, or what information is required to solve this thing while wearing the white hat. Okay? So moving to the black hat, as you can see, the color is quite rather more solemn, more serious. You tend to look at the difficulties. This is the part where you become more negative. You look at what are the potential problems, and at the same time, when you identify what are the problems, you prepare what are the contingency plans. Okay. So some questions where you ask while wearing the black hat is that, what are some of the weaknesses in this thing, okay, and what is wrong with it. So moving on to the red hat, right? The red, when you see the color red, it's more feminine. So when we think of red, it's based on feelings, it's based on intuition, it's basically things that you think of how people actually respond emotionally. Think of how people actually feel towards this thing. So when considering in this aspect, you need to find out how will people react, when this situation arises. So some questions you can think about is that, how do I feel about this? Okay, and how am I reacting towards this? And moving on to the green hat, you see green, right? Is to actually develop new ideas, alternatives, as well as creative solutions. So you need to find out what other alternatives or new ideas can there be when you are wearing the green hat. Okay? And you need to ask questions like, what are some of the possible ways to work this out, as well as what are some of the new concepts that can use. Okay? And moving on to the yellow hat, it's more vibrant, yellow color, right? So you think in the manner of how to be more positive. Okay, you think of what are the opportunities, what are the various benefits, advantages when implement tables. So some questions you can ask while wearing the yellow hat is that what are the good points and what are the benefits? Right? So last but not least, moving on to the blue hat. The blue hat actually, the person wearing the blue hat, or when you are thinking in a mindset of as a blue hat, you actually think of the entire thinking process. So this actually acts like a person who manages the entire discussion, whereby he or she will actually start the agenda, set the agenda, and also end and conclude what the group has actually discussed. So the person who is wearing a blue hat, okay, normally asks questions like, what have we done so far? What are the things that we have discussed? And what do we do next? What are the follow-up actions? So more than often than not, when we are in a discussion, we often see someone wearing the blue hat. And who is the person? Anyone guess? The boss, correct. So more than often than not, we also say, hey, this person, NATO, no action, talk only. So what should we do next? Then keep on asking the employee, what should we do next? Or we say, this have to be discussed and everything. But actually, maybe the boss is actually wearing the blue hat, right? So maybe to coordinate with your boss, you can wear other hats and talk to your boss. Maybe your boss will think, hey, this person, good idea and everything, right? Okay, so now that you have actually write down the keywords, okay, and you roughly understand what each hat comprises of and what questions to ask, right? Now let's play a game, alright? You can see there's a set of cards in front of you. Okay, in your own group, okay, probably you can discuss the questions to see which hat does it fall under. You can discuss to see which hat does it fall under. Yellow. Yeah, correct. Yellow. So when you're ready, right, arrange the cards by white hat, black hat, red hat, green hat, yellow hat, and blue hat. Okay?
What's the string of it? Who could be here?
The ring.
What are the strings? Brothers wish to be green.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, I can see all of you have actually identified the right questions. Okay, just for me, just stand there. Then we just go through each hat, okay? So when we talk about the white hat, what are some of the questions to ask? Okay, what is relevant? Okay, what other information do we do? So again, it's more of the facts and information that we need to find out when we wear the white hat. Okay, So when we wear the black hat, it's more negative. You need to think of what are the dangers, how much will it cost to do this project or this new implementation, as well as identify what are the risks. Okay. So moving on to the red hat, you ask about what do you feel? Okay. What is your hunch about? And how do you feel about this? What do you sense about this? So can anyone tell me what is what is one another question that you can ask under the red hat? Anyone has an idea? Probably just an example. What is one question that you can ask under the red hat?
What does intuition say?
So it's more like intuition.
I like that feeling.
So what is your gut feeling, right? Yeah, like what Gregory said, what's your gut feeling? So, so normally when people ask all these questions under the red hat, right? People would think, hey, this person just keep on thinking about emotions and feelings. But this is sometimes what people lack while doing a very objective discussion. And normally in doing management, they are too objective that they actually forgot about what other people actually feel when a new implementation is being implemented, right? Okay. So moving on to rehab. So what are some questions we ask? How can we make this work? How do we benefit? As well as how do we create new ways doing this and how can we do it in a different way? Right? So normally people actually have like a confusion between the green hat and the yellow hat. Why? Anyone tell me why? Why do you have a confusion? Just now you guys actually put differently as well, right? Which one do you put just now?
But more out.
This one.
Focus on the positive side.
Positive side, that's right. So this is green hat, okay, is more about different ways. Yeah. So do you think this is the right one? How can we make this work? What are the benefits? Who actually put this here?
It's actually yellow.
Who put it here?
Our team did it now. Hey guys.
So how do we make this work? What are the benefits? Where should we put? Put it there, right? So where should we put?
Never fail.
No one's purposely give chance.
And the other one? So
You have to drag the
right.
team.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so in the green hat, it's really think about what are the new solutions, the new things, what are other alternatives, and how can we do it differently. While on the right, yellow hat, right, it's about the benefits, the advantages, the outcomes. Okay, and lastly, the blue hat is the regulator. And normally it's the boss who actually ask what do we do next, what is the summary of reviews and what decisions have we made. So using all these 6 different hats, right? If let's say in your own discussion, in your own organization, you have 6 different people in your team, you can actually ask each one of you to wear a hat and focus on that perspective. Then you can actually get different people to share their views. At the same time, if let's say you do not have a group that is 6 people, only like 3 people or 4 people, you can actually go through each stages at one go. So maybe the entire tree in a group will actually wear the yellow hat at one point to think about what are the benefits. Then another point where the black hat think about what are the risks, what are the dangers. So it serves as a guide to actually help you think through the entire process. Okay? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Right?
Minutes.
Now that you really know what are the difference between the different color hats. So, okay, this is just now. So again, this is a summarized snapshot. When you think of the blue hat, it's more on the process. White hat is the text, red hat is the feeling, then green hat is the creativity, what are the alternatives. Yellow hat is the benefits, and black hat is really cautious, the risk. So, to recap what we have shared just now. There's another recap question. Okay. Okay. So just a quick quiz to actually recap. Okay. So white hat, we look at data and facts. That's right. Black hat, we identify problems and potential. Identify what?
Problems and potential problems. Problem and difficulties.
It's me, yeah. Okay. And red hat, decision based on feeling. Correct. And green hat, we develop new ideas. Yellow hat, we focus on opportunities and threats.
Benefits.
And blue hat, we control quick thinking process. That's right. Very good. So now that we know the different hats, so how do you think you can use this technique in your workplace? How do you think it will actually benefit you? If let's say you just take some time to think about, now that you know this technique, how are you going to actually implement it in your own workplace? Okay, so you can see there's a piece of paper, the yellow piece of paper, when you write down, what do you think you can actually, okay, sorry, that piece of paper is actually not mine. So you turn to the back of your handout, okay, you write down, sorry, you write down, okay, how do you think you can actually use this technique in your workplace? And how do you think you will benefit in the long run using this 60 minutes technique? Okay, you just have 5 minutes to think about it.
Transfer of learning. Any transfer?
The blue say today eat in oh no going
Then yellow one.
Paper blank.
Yellow is positive and
positive one no worry lah okay I won't bring after that
white is Hokkien Mee.
Paper blank. Transfer learning. Turn the other page. Right. Right.
But the example very really negative example all very negatively applied.
can say
But you can practice this and it becomes a habit so that they will also be more realistic.
yeah
Yeah.
very good
Force them to be very careful and all.
My workplace what if my workplace is from home and how?
It can be your
Empty. And transfer of learning.
or discussing something with your wife or your spouse.
Good lah. Small lah.
Big one here. The big one is right here. I can use all the techniques.
the messy one is over there
So what's the point of this meeting
there's a big
again?
one the messy one is there
Get back on track.
that's why you
What
don't
lah?
eat
Blank ah? Blank ah?
At least I got that feedback. You see, I write feedback.
It's transfer of learning.
No. It's like that. See,
Blank. Where?
I follow the lead of the director.
No. The transfer of learning.
director transfer
The example very.
Transfer blank.
No. Hey, help him.
Alex got not Alex?
Okay, so how can
break the duck egg.
Yeah. How we use this?
Oh, blank.
You expect Gary around?
Oh, blank.
Talk about lunch.
Okay, one last 30 seconds before we share.
who sales what do you do
Remember Gary must share. Yeah?
Unsales.
They're not practical, so you think of like worst case scenario. Side line.
brainstorm the employees, then you can tell me to sideline. Gentlemen, the problem now is how to do sales.
我在买奇怪
Yeah, I
business，
can see
要
some of the
property
good ideas coming up from this group. Okay, so probably we
About
get
noise,
to
noise,
share. So Gary, a lot of good ideas. You can share. How are you going to?
I only laugh only.
As a boss, how are you going to use this technique?
Director don't like what he says.
Deputy director. Okay, so we just mentioned, okay, how can we use this technique in your workplace? So I think, assuming if it's not, if let's say in the private sector, if those are private companies, the reason they exist is to, make money, that kind of thing. Hey, don't always think my company. Every company has to make money, okay. So we can probably use this to, enhance our sales, enhance sales, enhance growth. So, by adopting the 6 thinking cap technique, we can actually brainstorm on how to improve sales. Yeah. Definitely cannot ask people to do sideline. Do sideline is negative.
Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you. Clap. Round of applause.
Who's going to share? How are we going to use this technique in your workplace?
Okay, so one way would be.
Louder.
So one way would be to make the meetings much more efficient. So like, I kind of joke, but I really mean it. Like for example, if people go beat around the bush like someone, you can always ask like what's the point of it. So people drop back. Yeah. So that's the blue hat, and at the same time, like you can also train your employees to be more holistic in their perspective. So sometimes some optimistic person might be like, hey, maybe we should go and like build this balloon that can fly. But then at the same time, the same person would also take into account what's the cost involved in doing that.
Correct.
So it's like 2 in 1.
So it's also a good investment for employees to actually think about different perspectives. Let's say somebody is very pessimistic, right? Then they can actually get a different perspective from a more positive person, right? Okay, very good. So, all in all, okay, the 6 thinking hats technique is created because I think most of us actually look at a problem, fail to look at a problem from a different perspective, especially the emotional side, the intuitive side, the creative side, or maybe someone who is very positive, too happy-go-lucky and did not consider what are the risks. So this technique actually helps us to actually look at decisions from a number of important perspectives. Okay, so it's a very powerful technique which you can actually utilize in your own workplace or even in your life for having discussion or brainstorming or making a very important decision in your life. Okay, so before I end, there's a very interesting picture over there. What's the difference? What's the difference? Can you tell me what you see in this picture?
Mountain, sea, lake.
Mountains and
Life is full of obstacles.
okay. What else you see in this?
There's a road.
There's a bright light,
Hey,
bright
you're not-
something
There's a
shining.
road.
I think there's a bird there, is it?
Okay.
We can see a bird, don't laugh.
There's like an ocean in front of the, like a lake in front of the hills, right?
靠山，
Right.
大海。
So it's like good feng shui, yeah?
Area now.
But look carefully. Is this really a lake?
This is a lake.
Or is this a wall?
What?
It's a wall.
It's just a wall.
Oh, I see, but we are positive, is it?
Right? So actually different people look at things differently. And sometimes when you are in that problem or looking at things, you did not see that it's actually, this is a wall. It is a wall. This is actually a backyard wall. This is a wall. Okay?
Ah, I see a fish.
See, even salmon can see things differently from us.
Salmon.
Someone will love the place.
Fish here.
Salmon handshake. Church of learning.
See, you can see, it's a wall. You cannot see.
It's a white wall, right?
It's a white wall, correct?
Parapet lah, wall lah. Where in the hell?
I cannot see you.
Okay, this one I send to you, you slowly do